It's about filling it up. Sam Adams, fill your glass.
Wow, a new world.
Rated T for teen.
PlayStation, the best place to play.
PlayStation. Fired up.
Duralast. Proven tough so you can plow through winter. And only at AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination.
When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone.
New year, new phones for the family. Join T-Mobile, and when you buy one of the latest Samsung Galaxy phones, get a Samsung Galaxy S8 free. Plus, unlimited family plans come with Netflix included.
Spectacular!
So you can watch all your Netflix favorites on your new Samsung phones. Woo! Yeah! Join the Un-carrier and get a Samsung Galaxy S8 free. All on America's best unlimited network.
When you hear Domino's, you think pizza. But we're more than that. We're mouth-watering bread twists, oven-baked sandwiches, pastas, chicken, and pizza. Just $5.99 each when you order 2 or more. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
When it comes to car insurance, imitation is not a sincere form of flattery. And to the unsuspecting, it can be deceptive. So when you go online, be sure you're getting an actual quote from the General Insurance, not an imitation.
The General has provided low-cost auto insurance for more than 50 years. Get your anonymous online quote with low payments now.
And if you don't see our smiling faces, you're on the wrong website, buddy.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Number one, I bet it well. Do the numbers, I said it well. I played the game and I'm still the same, and I never changed it to get a deal. I'm ballin'. I came from nothing, it's nothing like it's nothing. And you know I done it, that is no discussion. I'm ballin'.
Hello.
One phone call.
Hello.
One call becomes the dividing line of your baseball life. There's only before and after. Before is the most you could ever do, to be the best ball player you could be. After is the most you could ever dream. One call and you are a Hall of Famer, a part of the greatest team. Team is why we play. Baseball is a series of one-on-one battles, duels between one man on a dirt pedestal and another man with a club in his hands. But we play to win the war between our sides, to leverage teamwork into shared victory.
The Twins have won it. It's a 1-0 10-inning victory.
You measure yourself by the teams you make. First Pro Team.
And according to scouting reports, the first of many that young man will get.
First Major League team, first All-Star team, first championship team.
The team of the 90s has its world championship.
And then, for only 1% of the more than 18,000 men who have played this game, there is the greatest team. One call on a day just like today, and you are teammates with the Babe, Sandy, Roberto, Hank, Willie, and Junior. The immensity of this honor becomes apparent on a summer afternoon in Cooperstown, New York. When your name is announced, you step to the podium, and the greatest living ball players are assembled behind you. They are your teammates in greatness.
The Hall of Fame is eternity.
You realize many roads lead to Cooperstown. You could be born on a train in Panama, signed off the sandlots of New York, and win 7 batting titles.
A standing salute to Rod Carew.
Or among those waiting for the call today, you could be a #1 pick from Florida who defines a franchise player. A 13th round pick from Illinois Central. A kid from the Dominican Republic who showed up at a tryout camp with mismatched shoes and signed for $2,500. A Puerto Rican who was inspired by the great Clemente. For a California kid who failed at shortstop but became a closer.
500 saves for Trevor Hoffman.
There are as many stories as there are Hall of Famers, but in this way, we are one. We are teammates. There is no greater glory than the perpetual one that comes with enshrinement in the Hall of Fame. Today is the day lives will change. Today is the day of the call.
Exclusive coverage of the 2018 Hall of Fame election announcement live inside Studio 3. It's Greg Amsinger and my guys, Harold Reynolds, Tom Verducci, Mark DeRosa, and the 2018 Ford C. Frick Award winner, Bob Costas. All right, Harold, we're going to see something.
I'm nervous.
Are we going to see something we haven't seen since 1936? The first Hall of Fame class, 5 players, former players, voted in to the Hall of Fame in 1 year.
Well, we've been following the tracker all night. It looks like we're going to see that. I'm nervous for my boy Edgar Martinez. I'm just hoping that he pulls that through. You know, DH is a position in baseball. I'd love to see him get rewarded. So we'll see. I'm feeling good, though. I'm feeling good, Tom. You?
Yeah, just remember, Trevor Hoffman, he's a specialist, too, like the DH role, right? Closer role. That, to me, remember, that guy was 5 votes short last year, Trevor Hoffman. Needs 75% to get in. Nervous time.
Hey, here's the thing. If Edgar makes it in the early tracking, he'd be just over the line. If he falls short, next year's his last year of eligibility before he'd be kicked to the Veterans Committee.
I think for me, Chipper's in. He's a lock. I'm blessed that I got a chance to Bobby Cox come up with the Braves, Smoltz, Maddox, Glavine, all these guys just going in. You take it for granted walking into that clubhouse. 5 or 6 Hall of Famers without question.
Did you know at the time?
Yeah.
You were playing with greatness?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Yep.
Bob, what was it like getting a phone call? You got that call to the Hall.
You can't put the broadcaster's wing in with the players. It's kind of a separate and secondary category, but for your own profession, I think it's the same in this respect as when players say, in a certain sense, I'm in the same fraternity as whoever you want to name. Willie Mays, Stan Musial, Sandy Koufax. And the way I put it is, even if I'm coming off the bench, I'm on the same team as Vin Scully and Jack Buck and Ernie Harwell and Mel Allen and Red Barber, you know, and I'll come off the bench anytime with that group.
Yeah, in Cooperstown, which is a magical place which we all love to go to every summer. So July 29th, who will be in the induction ceremony? Here are your notable first-time candidates. We're going to begin with our colleague here at MLB Network, Jim Thome, over 600 career home runs. What a career he amassed. 13 walk-off home runs, the most all-time for an on-base machine. The aforementioned Chipper Jones, one of the best switch hitters of all time, over 460 career home runs, the face of the Atlanta Braves for years. And Andrew Jones in center field, one of the greatest defenders at his position, 10 Gold Gloves and plenty of home runs, including one 50-plus homer season. It's hard to talk about defense at shortstop without mentioning Omar Vizquel. He did have over 2,800 hits in a very lengthy career. Scott Rowland, tremendous defender at third base, 8 Gold Gloves, actually had more extra base hits than Edgar Martinez, who many think could get in moments. Johan Santana, a career ERA just over 3, but 2 Cy Youngs, and that matters to some Hall of Fame voters. As for guys that are on the ballot, once again, Trevor Hoffman came so close last year. 74%. Will his 601 saves get in this year? Vladdy, over 2,500 100 hits, plenty of home runs. Somehow not in on his first ballot last year, but it's looking good for him right now. And Edgar Martinez, can he make what would be a monstrous surge to get to 75% and get elected in one of the longtime Seattle Mariner greats? As for other players on this ballot, again, this is the 6th year on the ballot for Roger Clemens. A year ago, 54% of the vote. You wonder how close he will become of the public ballots. He's over 60%, so it looks like at the moment he's trending in the right direction. And if you mention Clemens, you have to mention Barry Bonds because of the speculation of performance-enhancing drugs. And Barry Bonds, obviously the home run king in many eyes. 53% of the vote for him on his 6th year in the ballot last year. Well, he surged along with Roger Clemens. Mike Mussina ended his career a 20-game winner with the New York Yankees. This is his 5th year on the ballot. 51% of the vote is what he garnered a year ago. The public ballots are showing that he is trending in the right direction. And Curt Schilling, what a postseason resume, but did he do enough in the regular season to help his cause? This is his 6th year on the ballot. A year ago, 45% of the vote. We're looking for big surges along with a class that we're expecting to be monstrous. The Veterans Committee already elected Jack Morris and Alan Trammell. They'll be speaking induction weekend, July 29th. Who will join them? That is the question. We are moments away from finding out. But first, I want to welcome the guys from Studio 42, our Hall of Fame voters led by Ken Rosenthal. Kenny, some final thoughts before we find out who will make up this Hall of Fame class.
Well, Greg, this is such an electric moment, a moment when careers come full circle, a moment when greatness turns to immortality. We will start with our Spink Award winner, Peter Gammons. Your final thoughts.
I think it's fascinating that in the era of relievers, and we have definitely gone to the era of bullpens, we could have it 2 years in a row, Trevor Hoffman and Mariano Rivera.
What stands out to me, D-Row mentioned it, it's kind of a Braves era right now. Chipper's going to go in. It's going to be the 4th player from that era. Then you add Cox and Scherholz. And really, if you look at the guys who are about to go in, this is kind of the big honor because Chipper has a championship, but they probably didn't win as many as you think. But Vlad never won a championship. Tomei was on good Indian teams that never won. Hoffman never won. You know, like, it's interesting that this is going to be the ultimate in some way because they got to either very infrequently drink champagne or never.
Stacked ballot. It's going to be a crowded dais, and deservedly so. I think we're going to get 5, and I think that's great. I think we'll probably honor Trevor and Edgar, but we will find out very soon.
I'm hoping we get 5, clear the decks, get some more Hall of Famers in next year. I'm fearful that the final tracking indicates we'll only get 3. We shall see, Greg. Back to you.
3. Interesting, Kenny. Thank you. I also look at the bottom of the polling, and I'm worried that certain guys won't get 5% of the vote. I want to see Scott Rowland on this ballot again. I want to see Billy Wagner on this ballot again. That matters to me as a fan.
Andrew Jones.
Yeah,
Andrew Jones.
And I think the one thing we've seen as of late is the campaigning. You know, we didn't see that in years past where guys are actually campaigning, and I think social media has a lot to do with that. Instagram, all the different ways of being able to reach out and send your message is really a big difference than years past.
And also some teams, PR departments, are putting together campaigns using analytics or whatever. Here's the reason you should vote for Edgar Martinez and sending it out to all the voters to try to influence.
Do you like that? Do you like
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
It's just
Where's
more
the campaign for Fred McGriff, though?
Yeah.
Can someone explain that to me? Talking about the Braves, he hit behind Chipper on the 95 championship.
He has no one central team.
Right.
That might be part of it. He himself is a low-key personality. He's not going to launch a campaign on his own.
But I think we can all agree, Fred McGriff, to me, is a Hall of Famer. You go back and you look at the thing that stood out to me about Fred McGriff. I think he had one stint on the disabled list, and it didn't come till his 17th season in the big leagues. Think about that.
Well, he's also an interesting and valid counterpoint to the steroid guys. I mean, he didn't achieve the same thing statistically, but he did it clean and hit nearly 500 homers. If there's no work stoppage in 1994, end of the year and beginning of the following year, he tops 500.
Tom, do you have him in the Hall of Fame?
He's got Hall of Fame numbers. You compare him to Eddie Murray, Willie Stargell, he's right there. And I said this to D-Row earlier. 475 home runs without a connection to steroids. 23 guys have done that. They're all in the Hall of Fame except one. Fred McGriff. Why? He's not even close. And so when the numbers come out, I always look not just at that 75% threshold, see who's gaining ground, see who's above 5%. There's a lot of interesting numbers besides the top of the ballot.
And I've been in a box against all three. Mariano, who's going to go in potentially unanimously next year. Yep. Trevor, who's going to hopefully go in today. Billy Wagner.
Thank you.
Come on, he walked away when he didn't have to. He could have stayed and amassed more saves. Take a look at this guy's numbers and ask the players that got in a box against this guy. It was game, set, match.
That was the argument with Mike Messina, too. You look at Mike Messina, he won 21 games his last year. If he was thinking, okay, Cooperstown's around the corner, let me keep pitching, you think he couldn't have amassed more wins?
Totally.
I mean,
As
21
it was, he had
and
270.
walked away.
Could have got to 300.
The one guy that didn't need to do anything more than he did was Jeff Kent. I don't get it. Last year,
I don't get that
14.5%. Bob, the guy has more home runs than anyone that played the position.
Yeah, more than any other second baseman.
And then you could look at all the other
Had an MVP season.
I don't understand. How is he not?
The only knock on him would be defensive liability at a key position, and also the era in which he played, even though he was outspoken in his advocacy for playing clean, so no one suspects him. But what he did kind of gets subsumed by all the other numbers of those who surrounded him in the same era.
The other thing about Jeff Kent that is so unique is he hit in the middle of the order. You didn't see second basemen hitting in the middle of the order, protecting Barry Bonds. He hit after Barry Bonds. He was in the middle of the Giant lineup. You know, so you're looking at the big number he put up in home runs, but I think he gets overlooked because most second basemen at that time, he was a trend changer. He changed everything because he hit in the middle of the order, not guys.
So maybe if we get a big class here, maybe we get 5 going in, that will clear the decks, and maybe some of the other guys get more votes next year.
Something else to watch, we see the early tracking reflects more of the younger part of the electorate. They're more inclined to put their ballots out there and put it on social media, and the end result is usually a little bit lower than the early polling.
Well, this is the time you've been waiting for. It's time to find out who's going to make up the 2018 Hall of Fame class. For that, let's send it over to Brian Kenny.
Greg, thank you so much. I'm with Jeff Idelson, the president of the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Jeff, this is dramatic. We do watch the tracking now closer than ever, and we see 6 players tracking at over 70%, 5 are over 75%, which is what you need. We've seen big classes these last few years. We know this is the ultimate honor in baseball, but we could be looking at a blockbuster class this year.
We could be, Brian, and you know, there's been a lot of consensus among the writers the last number of years, and them coming to agreement on a number of candidates getting in, but it's still very difficult to make it. 1% of those that have played in the major leagues have a plaque in Cooperstown still.
And we're looking at, I mean, we've had 12 players in the last 4 years. Jack Morris is going to be up there already. Alan Trammell added to, we don't know, 3, 4, or 5 players. This is exciting. I mean, there's real support for a lot of these candidates.
There sure is, and you know, Tram and Jack, I think, are watching today. I'm wondering who they're going to have as teammates as the class of 2018. It's exciting.
You've got a bunch of cards there. I wonder how long Jeff is going to be up here. Might be up here a little while, but we'll clear the decks. Jeff, it's all yours.
Okay, Brian, thank you. On behalf of Hall of Fame Chairman Jane Forbes Clark, our board of directors, the entire staff in Cooperstown, and Jack O'Connell, Secretary-Treasurer for the Baseball Writers Association of America, it's time to learn the results of the 2018 Hall of Fame election by the BBWAA and see who will be on the induction stage in Cooperstown on July 29th to join longtime Detroit Tigers teammates Alan Trammell and Jack Morris, who were elected last month. The process and results were verified by Mike DeLisi with Ernst & Young, our partner for the last 22 years. Let's go to the envelope. Let's see who's coming to Cooperstown. 422 ballots were cast, 317 votes needed for election, and the results indicate that it is going to be rocking in Cooperstown this summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks to the baseball writers, the Hall of Fame just bolstered its roster in a very big way. The class of 2018 will be renowned for its middle-of-the-lineup power, but someone has to hit leadoff, and our first Hall of Famer only did it twice in 2,499 games. In 1990, the Braves made him the first pick in the draft, and in 2018, the BBWAA made this prolific switch hitter a first ballot electee, Chipper Jones. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. You can now rejoin your 3 pitching aces, your manager, and your general manager in Cooperstown. The Braves' third baseman spent 19 productive seasons torching National League pitching to the tune of a lifetime .303 batting average with more than 2,700 hits, including 549 doubles and 468 home runs. He topped the 100 RBI mark 9 times, scored 100 or more runs 8 times, hit better than 300 10 times, and had 14 seasons with at least 20 home runs. He was the National League MVP in 1999, won a batting title in 2008, was an 8-time All-Star, and a member of the 1995 World Series champion Atlanta Braves. Chipper, we'll see you in July. Como Juan Marichal y Pedro Martinez es uno de los grandes orgullos de la República Dominicana. Vladimir Guerrero, bienvenido al Salón de la Fama del Béisbol en Cooperstown. Vladdy was a rare 5-tool player who patrolled right field in Montreal and Anaheim with a cannon for an arm. Over 15 impressive seasons, he hit .318 with nearly 2,600 hits, 477 doubles, 449 home runs, nearly 1,500 RBI, and a .553 slugging percentage. He had 300 or better 13 times, topped the 30 home run mark 8 times, and drove in 100 or more runs on 10 occasions. A 9-time All-Star, he won 8 Silver Slugger awards. He earned the American League MVP honors in 2004, and today he's earned baseball's highest honor, election to the Hall of Fame. Vladdy, te veo en Cooperstown. Hall of Famer Harmon Killebrew is often compared to folk hero Paul Bunyan because of his brute strength, and you can put our next selectee in the same class, and he is all class. Jim Thome, welcome to the Baseball Hall of Fame. A 13th round pick by the Indians in 1989, Jim hit .276 lifetime with 451 doubles and 612 long home runs, 8th most in history. He also ranked 7th in walks. Built for longevity, he played 22 seasons, reaching the 20-homer plateau 16 times, including 6 seasons with 40 or more. He drove in at least 100 runs 9 times, scored 100 or more runs 8 times, and is just one of 5 players in history with as many as 500 home runs, 1,500 runs, 1,600 RBI, and 1,700 walks. And as good as he was on the diamond, he'll forever be revered by the staff in Cooperstown for hand-delivering his 500th home run baseball with his dad, Chuck, and his 600th home run baseball with his son, Landon. Jim Thome, we'll see you in July. And now, as we head into the late innings of this announcement, it's important to note that every team, including the one in Cooperstown, needs lights-out closers, and today we acquired another one for our ridiculously good bullpen. Is that Hell's Bells I'm hearing in the background? Trevor Hoffman, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Over 18 seasons, 16 in a San Diego Padres uniform, Trevor appeared in 1,035 games and saved 601 of them. He was the first pitcher ever to reach the 500 and 600 save plateaus, and today he ranks 2nd all-time. The Sporting News is National League Fireman of the Year twice, won the NL Roll-Age Relief Award twice, finishing in the top 10 of NL Cy Young Award voting 4 times. The 7-time All-Star posted 40 or more saves 9 times, twice leading the NL in saves, and on July 29th in Cooperstown, it will be Trevor time when he joins the Ultimate Team. Congratulations, Trevor Hoffman. All of Cooperstown is looking forward to welcoming you.
Okay, Jeff, I wanted to make sure you were done. Are we done?
We're done, Brian.
We're done. Right. So, a class of 4, we see 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers. That is still something that's very rare. I would just see 2 first-ballot guys get in.
It is rare. And when you walk into Cooperstown, any of the 226 in the plaque gallery, you don't know which ballot they got in. But first ballot means there was no doubt among the writers.
All right, so a class of 4 going in. We're going to be pouring through the results and see exactly how close was Edgar Martinez, Mike Messina, also very close. It's exciting to watch at the top of the ballot. We know they can't be that far away, Jeff.
No, I mean, you know, as history shows, guys that are trending well and get up into the higher percentages, it tends to mean that someday they also might be getting the call.
Jeff, great to see you here. We will see you in July. Thank you so much. Greg, a lot to go over. Take it away.
No doubt, BK. Jeff, thank you very much. Yes, a class of 4 led by Chipper Jones with over 97% of the vote. We're kind of pressed for time here, so as we look at some of the results here, Bob, what stands out the most to you? Obviously, Edgar Martinez, so surged from 58.6% to 70.
He was over 75 in the early tracking, falls beneath it. Next year is his last year of eligibility. Mike Mussina made a significant jump. Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds were trending over 60%, and then they level off around the mid to high 50s, but they still got a few years left. That's a good debut for Omar Vizquel at 37%, higher than Larry Walker, who's been on the ballot for a while. And Fred McGriff is just kind of stuck there, and it's apparent that Manny Ramirez is viewed differently than some others because he failed at least 2, and maybe, if you believe some reports, 3 drug tests after baseball had codified both testing and punishment.
Tom Verducci, what stood out from the results, the voting results to you?
Well, the fact that, first of all, it's a great class. We now have a record in terms of the last 5 years. We're getting a lot of guys into the Hall of Fame. And yes, you can be a hitter and play your prime through the steroid era and get in on a first ballot, which is what Chipper Jones and Jim Thome did. Jim Thome's only the 3rd first baseman to get in on first ballot, following Willie McCovey and Eddie Murray.
Amazing. No, I think the big thing, 2 first-timers getting in immediately like that. I also think I'm disappointed for Edgar, and I think the tracker thing hurts. You know, people start looking at the tracking early, and with you get 10 votes. And so I think guys sit there and go, well, I'll save it because this guy might fall off the ballot. He doesn't need my help. I would love to see that go away. I really would.
Very quickly, Johan Santana falls off the ballot. Andrew Jones stays on. Scott Rowland at 10% stays on. Sammy Sosa's going nowhere at 8%. Curt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame. All the peripheral stuff does not matter. By performance, he should be in the Hall of Fame. He was at 51%.
I know one guy that disagrees with that, and it's not you, Mark Doreen. it's John Heyman. John Heyman is, you know, I don't know. The outside stuff, John, does that affect the way you look at Curt Schilling?
I voted for Curt Schilling.
You did?
Yes.
Ta-da!
Is
this the first year you did it?
No, I've done it 5 out of 6 years.
Greg's not reading the tracker.
I have 83% record on Curt Schilling voting.
Or off the record conversation.
Not off the record no more.
Ken, what do you think of the results here, buddy?
I'm pleased. 4 was great. 5 would have been better. I think Edgar will get in next year. He was 19 votes short. That's not very many. Peter, to me, this 5-year cycle with all these Hall of Famers, 16 in 5 years, that's a record. That's a healthy trend. The way you see it?
Absolutely. I mean, just knowing what it means to all these guys. And I think it's really interesting when you start to see, I mean, I'm convinced now, just looking at it, my first, like, oh, well, Edgar and Mussina will be there within the next 2 years at most. Or Edgar has to be next year and then Mussina the year after. And I still think, and John does vote for him, that Curt Schilling is going to end up making it when they really go through the whole history and realize 218 wins. He went through like 3 operations in 1 winter.
I think that 5 getting in, 16 over the last 5 years. We are cleaning up the ballot, and especially as you look forward. The only sure things are Rivera next year and Jeter the year after. Maybe Roy Halladay next year, but we don't have deep classes coming. So guys like Edgar and Mussina are going to get in, and it looks like the fact that we didn't get a lot of movement on Bonds, Clemens, they're not. We're cleaning up the ballot.
We did a great job, much better job than we did last year. We missed the obvious. Vladimir Guerrero should have been a first ballot guy, but overall I thought we did well. Mussina rise, I'm in favor as well.
The thing that stood out to me, outside of course, of the class, Bonds and Clemens barely moved.
Yes.
On the tracker, it looked like one thing. In reality, it looks like another. Yeah. Greg, back to you.
Yeah, they only went up 3%. Larry Walker went up 12% compared to last year's ballot. It's time to talk to some of these guys. The members of the 2018 Hall of Fame class will begin with Chipper Jones next.
The Hartford congratulates Trevor Hoffman on his election to the Hall of Fame. We're proud to have you as our company ambassador.
The dollar gets you more at Taco Bell, like the new $1 stacker. Are all these layers of beef and cheese reserved for a secret society, or just anyone with a dollar? The answer.
Hello? Last time we talked, I was letting you know that you won the National League Most Valuable Player Award. Now I'm letting you know the writers have elected you to the Hall of Fame. Yes. Congratulations. Thank you, thank you.
Somehow, Vladimir Guerrero was not voted in on his first year on the ballot, but he got around 93% on this day, and he is newly elected into baseball's Hall of Fame. And Vladimir Guerrero joins us live on MLB Network alongside our MLB Network correspondent, Jose Moto, who's going to help us interpret what Vladdy's saying. First and foremost, congratulations, Vladdy. A tremendous career. Describe what it means to you to be the first Dominican-born position player elected into the Hall of Fame.
Dicen felicidades y primeramente, ¿qué significa para ti ser el primer dominicano jugador de posición en ser elegido al Salón de la Fama?
Bueno, me siento contento como fue mi primer dominicano, habiendo muchos peloteros que han pasado por primero que yo. Pues me siento contento que soy el tercero y que nos abrió la puerta fue Juan Marichal, después mi compadre Pedro Martínez, y yo creo que uno se siente contento estar en el Salón de la Fama.
First of all, thrilled to be in the Hall of Fame, and he says as many players has come out of the Dominican Republic to be the third Dominican, and with so many outstanding position players that have come out of there, what an honor to be the first one to make it to the Hall of Fame. And he thanks Juan Marichal, and of course the first Dominican inducted into the Hall of Fame, and his big compadre Pedro Martinez, of course.
Hey, Jose, to Vladdy, ask him about the workout where he signed way back when he had shoes that didn't match. Take me into that story.
Vlad, una historia interesante es cuando tú fuiste al tryout. Habla de aquellos zapatos que eran dos zapatos izquierdos, o cómo fue la cosa que no te quedaban bien. ¿Cómo fue?
No, eso lo inventaron. Ya tenía mis dos hermanos más viejos firmados, que era Eleazar Guerrero y Wilton Guerrero. Mi hermano me mandó, ya yo estaba comenzando a viajar, comencé a jugar con los mismos zapatos, ¿no? Se inventaron eso, y cuando me dijeron, yo dije, no, eso nunca lo he hecho.
Okay, so see, Harold, that's why we're here. Vladdy says, no, it never happened.
I heard that.
He says, the story is this. My two older brothers had signed professionally, and I don't know where the story got out, but yeah, the shoes didn't fit well. I looked like I was running on marbles in my shoes, but the fact is that he wore these shoes for a long time, but the story is now clear that he did not wear the wrong shoes. In other words, he was not wearing two left shoes on both feet. So Vladdy, you know what, man? Gracias, amigo. Ya, claro. Hey, Harold, you did a great job bringing that up, because now you take all the credit, my amigo. Take it.
He got that off his chest. That's wonderful. Hey, Vladdy, I have a surprise for you. You mentioned your friend Pedro Martinez. Pedro, at the moment on FaceTime, wants to say something to you. There you are, Pedro. What do you want to say to Vladdy?
Hey, mi compi. Aquí estamos. Mire, celebrando que usted es el tercero, que en realidad nos sentimos muy orgullosos de usted, el país entero, junto conmigo. Me alegro muchísimo de haber participado en su carrera, en su vida, de haber sido una influencia. Me siento muy orgulloso, me siento como un hermano mayor que en este momento se siente contento de haberle dado los mejores consejos a su hermanito menor. Estamos muy orgullosos de usted y celebrando, como le dije, a su salud y por muchos éxitos más. Bien merecido.
Bueno, gracias por el consejo que siempre me diste. Yo creo que uno se siente contento compartir con una persona que cuando subí a Grandes Ligas, mi primer año, no sabía mucho de Montreal, pero gracias a ti salía a la luz, que te podía salir después ya, porque fue el último año que tú jugaste con Montreal, y yo creo que uno se siente contento. Llevar siempre mi mente en alto, que mi compadre me ayudó bastante en esos 16 años que jugué en Grandes Ligas.
Pedro, so you are MLB Network, my friend, so you got to do it in English now so we can interpret for him. Go ahead.
Well, I just told him how proud I am, how excited I am about reaching the Hall of Fame, becoming the third and the only position player that ever was elected from the Dominican Republic to the Hall of Fame. I'm so proud to have influenced his life and also his career, in baseball. And I'm just like an older brother that feels really proud proud to have given a younger brother some advice, and that the advice pretty much paid off big time, like they have tonight. And I'm extremely proud. I'm celebrating over here. The entire country is celebrating, and you know, I don't have enough words to describe how excited I am about the fact that Vladdy made it, and Vladdy is like my young brother that I helped guide, you know, through his career in the big leagues and now to the Hall of Fame.
Pedro,
you like the answer? Yeah.
That's great. No, Pedro, I know you love the cat and mouse game of pitching, and you were so instinctual about setting guys up. Was it possible to set up Vlad Guerrero? Was it possible to do that?
No way. I made it easy for my pitching coach and the entire staff when they wanted to actually talk to me about Vladdy, because I knew him better than anybody else. I just said to the entire staff, why don't you just try to walk him? Just walk him, period. And bounce most of the stuff. And if you're not going to do that, then throw a fastball down the middle. He might miss it because he sees it so well, he's going to swing hard and probably pop it up. But Vladdy had no zone that you could pitch. Vladdy was very difficult to pitch around the strike zone. Anything near the strike zone, except maybe the middle, you wouldn't stand a chance, because Vladdy had that unusual kind of reach and, you know, someone extraordinary, you know, to watch playing baseball. I remember Mel Stoudemire Jr. Bouncing a split finger, and Vladdy hit it straight away center field. And I was like, oh my God, did I see that? Did that ball bounce? And yes, it did. The ball bounced and he hit it straight away center field to the top of the wall. And I was like, this is unbelievable. And that's when I realized that Vladdy covered more than just the foot of the plate, and anything low, anything up, anything in and out, it didn't matter. Vladdy had no strike zone. So Vladdy was probably one of the most difficult guys to face. And at the same time, you know, for me it was simple. I would just try to go out there thinking that I was going to walk him, and that was it. Whenever I missed, I got burned.
Yeah, he got 4 hits off you with a home.